This was one of the hardest times in my life when I was facing heartbreak, homelessness, at the same time as going blind. But I was able to overcome it despite all of those obstacles I had. So, if you're interested, let's go ahead and get into it. Welcome to Being Blackout, where we hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. I'm your girl Blackout, and on this channel, I like to talk to you guys about my journey as a deaf-blind woman. I've been deaf-blind for about 5 seconds now, and it's been a whirlwind, and I have to learn how to do new things. So, if you're interested in my journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get it popping. Okay, without further ado, let's get it, let's go, let's get it, let's go. Let's go. All right, what was it? Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. This is part two of my Heartbreak series. If you haven't seen part one, go ahead and go watch that. I'll probably link that in the description down below if I can remember or if I can get the person that helps me to remember. But otherwise, you might have to go on a journey. It's not that hard. It's in a playlist, so alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. Before I go into the steps that I took to healing, into my healing process, I want to tell you and share with you where I was at, where my mental state was at before all of that, before like the healing took place, okay? Alright, so where the state I was in, where the heartbreak left me, was it wasn't just a heartbreak, it was everything at once happening at a time. Like I said, I was facing homelessness. I was homeless for about a little bit. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I didn't understand. My faith was being shaken. I was questioning God. I remember being in a room by myself and my mom can hear me. I didn't know she could hear me, but I was in there just, I was so frustrated. I was crying and I was throwing myself against the walls a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you because it was just a lot. It was really heavy at that time. And it was just everything at once. And promises I thought I got from God wasn't making sense, or like, am I even hearing God right? That was a big thing um, to come to terms with. And so when the heartbreak happened, I lost a lot of confidence in not only myself but in God too. Well, I guess more in my confidence, not necessarily confidence in God. I was gaining confidence in God, but losing my confidence in knowing that I'm hearing God, or that I have that ability, and then also confidence in myself, my self esteem, because it hits you. You got you comparing yourself to other women. I never really cared about my chest like that. Like I didn't feel like I had a big enough chest or big enough butt. It never bothered me. But after I seen the girl that he ended up getting with, and she was a bigger woman. I remember being in the store with my sister-in-law, and I remember there was a woman in there, and she was like a thicker woman, and she had the chest, and she had her butt, and whatever she was wearing, she was flaunting all of it. And I remember, like I said, I couldn't really see too much at that time, but I was able to see that a little bit, and it like had me down bad because it had me remembering back to the girl that he chose over me. And I was like, I don't have big boobs or a big butt or a flat stomach like that. And just really, it really gets to you being you start comparing yourself to other women where, I mean, yeah, you probably have, but it never really like hit me like it hit like that, where I was like, well, dang. And you start feeling kind of worthless or useless. Like all I was good for was this one thing. That's what I was feeling. Like all I was good for was, I'm not even good enough to get to know or want to be with or things like that. I'm just good enough for this one physical thing. And the rather they're like, I'm not even worth the time or to care about or worth to be a friend or somebody you care to have in your life. It was really bad and really, really quite sad. Like I said, even outside of that too, my vision got a lot worse at that time too, from I guess I don't know, maybe the stress and the crying, all that stuff like helped it along. I don't know, but it got pretty bad. And I remember being on a walk with my probably the same time I was with her at the Walmart, and I remember speaking to her, and I was because I used to go on walks with her, and then the last time I went on a walk with her, it was really bad. I noticed that's when I noticed my vision got a lot worse because I wasn't able to maneuver around by myself like I was. It was already household do it by myself, but it was more of I'm like I find myself trying to find where the curves at, make sure I don't flip off and stuff. So That was the last time I went on a walk with her. But I remember saying to her, I was like I just felt like I was just a big thing of hopelessness. Like there was no light. I remember telling her there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Nothing means anything. It's just dark. Not not only just literal, not only just literally, but figuratively as well. It was just a dark, dark place to be in, and I didn't know how I was going to pull myself out of it. It wasn't just about him. Yeah. And so um in that journey, like I had to realize it wasn't just about him. That heartbreak had to happen. If it wasn't him, it was going to be someone else. It had to happen because it brought up my insecurities. It brought up things that I probably didn't really pay too much attention to. It was already there. It's just that he brought it up more and probably added to it a little bit. He was the one to bring it up and bring it out and made me really look at it and see at the some underlying things that I probably didn't pay attention to or think was a big deal or anything like that came to the surface. So like I said, if it wasn't for him, it was definitely gonna be somebody else. I was gonna use someone else to do it, to do that work. It's just this man, he did it well. He had a job to do, and he did it phenomenally. He did it perfectly, and I mean, so I can't really be too mad at him. I mean, I was, and sometimes I get a little mad at him, but it's not even that I get mad at him. It's more I get mad at myself more than anything. Like the feeling insecure or how did I let that happen? It's not even like I'm angry at him. I'm angry because it's not like he, because I can say he knew what you know, what I was and what I wanted, and yet he still did that. He knew my morals and values. And so what? Something else? And who else knew about my morals and values? Me. I knew about my morals and values. I was the one that was supposed to be held accountable to that, and I can't really blame him. He just did what he was gonna do and got the hell up out of there. And so, I mean, I can thank him for that. It brought some things to my attention, and probably like never to be so naive ever again. But whatever. You win some, you lose some. I know. So it's all an experience. So if have you ever felt like so right before so all right. So we can go ahead and get into the healing and my healing journey of the heartbreak now that you know more about where I was at in my mindset. That I was in that very dark place of being homeless. I was heartbroken. I was jobless. I had no money, nowhere to go. I felt like I was left behind. Everybody else is moving forward, and I'm just stuck in this deep, dark hole of just depression and loneliness. And so, before I go ahead and get into how I started to heal all of that, I want to ask you: have you ever felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, like you were never gonna break through? If so, how would you able to make it through? Go ahead and leave a comment down below, and let's talk about it. Cause I want to know. Let's build a friendship, okay? I want to talk to you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into how I was able to start healing. So the first, I want to mention the first thing that helped me really just process everything was to sit in my feelings about it. I allowed myself to feel every single part of that heartbreak, every single disappointment, every single realization, every single insecurity, every single feeling of just inadequacy or anger or sadness. And I had to feel that. I didn't do any self medication, no drinking, no popping no pills, no. I probably slept some trying to get through it. But you can only sleep so much. Your body won't allow you to sleep no more. And it was very, very, very difficult. It was a long and slow and painful process. Like it's something that I had to go through. Um, to really allow myself to when you go through those things and it doesn't heal overnight. So when you allow yourself to go through those things and it slowly heals, it slowly begins to like close up, you know that there's no band-aid or whatever, at least it's actually healed. It's kind of a process. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to, but it's it's a wound that you allow to heal, no band-aid, just keep digging in it. Although sometimes you might want to dig in it a bit. I probably did a little bit digging in it, where you want to go look up a person and see what they're doing or whatever. But I had to really just or allow that person to keep coming back or something. I had to really cut him off, like told him no, and I had made him lose my number so he wouldn't, be tempted to text me or call me again. I got rid of my Facebook so he wouldn't message me on Facebook, and I had to really let him go. That was a hard thing for myself to do, and trust that God will heal it and bring whoever He wants. For me, He'll bring that person, and I really have to trust God in that and to leave that person alone. Like even if He comes back talking about, oh, I changed or da 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 da, leave it alone, let it go, walk away. So that was one thing that really really harped in on was letting that person go and allow myself to really sit with my feelings and feel everything and not try to medicate because when you medicate, it also prolongs the healing process. So yeah, that was the first thing that I did. The second thing that I really focused in on was eating better. I ate a lot more fruit, which is very healing for the body. It's meant for the body to help it heal, to help your mental state. I ate a lot more fruit, some vegetables, some broccoli, a lot of apples at that time. A lot of berries at that time too. I kind of fell off. I need to get back on it. I got my fruit bowl right here. But I really need to get back on it because I felt it really helped bring up my energy a lot more. Lately these days I haven't really had much energy. Like right now this today, very low energy day if you wasn't able to tell. But when I eat more of those life like food with life in it, I get so much more energy. I get a little bit more happier and stuff like that. So um I was eating a lot of those, some oranges, apples, grapes, what was it? Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, smoothies. I was making juices. Ooh, I really like watermelon juice. That's really good. Some papayas, some oranges. Um, but that watermelon juice is really, really nice. I should go back and do juicing because when I did juicing for a bit, my mom was like, "Your skin is glowing." I'm like, "Really? I need to go ahead and get back on that." Kick. Sometimes these foods are just so expensive, or I just didn't really feel like it, or my vision got a little bit worse. I wasn't doing it as much as I was because it's a hassle to do everything. Anyways, I'm going off. I'm going off on a tangent. Eating better really helps. That was just a really big thing, and I remember not only that, even just drinking more of like some teas and things too. I remember once just sitting there, just watching. I was fine that day. I wasn't feeling any type of way. I was starting to feel better after the heartbreak, and I was just sitting there in my room, and I was coming to terms with everything, and I was in a fine mood. I was kind of happier that day, but I was sitting there and I was watching the show, and then I got really, really, really sad. Like it wasn't sad up in my mind though. Like mentally, I wasn't sad, but like I could feel the emotions coming up from like my gut and like tears coming out, and I'm crying, and I'm like, why am I crying? Like, what is this about? And I believe that's because like some of those emotions and things your body holds on to, the it's starting to come out. Like my initial sadness and stuff, I already cried that out. Now the deeper stuff was starting to come out. That's the cool part of really just eating better and during the healing process. It allows you to go into a deeper, like a cellular level type of healing, which is amazing. And I need to get back to that. So that is number two that I did was eat better. The third thing was music. Music really helped me. Like just being able to release some of the feelings that I had, relate to other people and their music, like Whitney Houston or Fantasia or others like that, James Arthur. I actually have the fourth video of the series is my playlist, top 10 plus 5 or 6 honorable mentions. If you are interested in some songs that helped me get through it, go ahead and subscribe down below so you won't miss it when that video goes live. I actually had a lot more songs than that. I like a lot more, but the video would have gone too long. So there might be a part two to that at some point. So be on the lookout for that video. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe. So three, all those songs really helped me, and not only did I transition from like songs of like "Will You the Best Thing I Never Had" to songs where or no, maybe it was started with songs where I wish that he wanted that he regretted his decision and his choice to songs where it's like "You're the best thing I never had," and then it went to songs where it was more so like maybe love songs to that portray God, like I seen him too, because I realized like he is the one, like that's my all. Like I'm gonna be in a relationship with God, like that's my provider. So that was number three. A lot of songs got me through some things and got me from a bitter place to a better place. The fourth thing I did was I read my Bible a lot often, and I spoke with God about certain things. And but reading that, and then He would answer me in some Bibles or let me see um, the Bible verses or understand it more, because it can be a little tricky to understand. But He started opening up my understanding and allowing me to gain some wisdom within Him and really see my situation and where I was at and how I was and who this man was and all of that. Just it's not necessarily he was a villain or anything. Like I told y'all in the beginning, it's just that I needed this was something that that needed to happen and for myself and for my own personal growth. Um, Whether he got something out of it or not, I really don't know. I don't know anything about this man anymore. I don't keep up with him. What he has going on in his life or in his mind, I really don't. I can't tell. For me, I know that it was a major thing that I started to see. So, yeah, reading my Bible a lot, and well, not reading it, listening to my Bible a lot really helped. Get some certain passages. A passage I held on to not only in this phase of the heartbreak, but even before that, when I started going blind. Passage was Romans 8:18, which I believe it goes, "For the sufferings of this time shall not be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us." That was a passage that I clung to so hard, and I still love it. There's other passages I can't really remember right now, but that was the main one. And the next thing, the fifth thing that I did in my healing process was actually going on YouTube and looking at other people who were going through similar situations. Not only other people that was heartbroken too, but just other people that were faith based and God based, God centered, and really see their stories and hear their similar stories to mine. Because we think that we're the only ones going through. At least I did. I thought I was the only one going through. I don't know about you, but I thought oh, this is a unique situation. But then I go on YouTube and I find other people that are like me or similar to me or have similar situations, and I'm like, oh, this is just something that happens, or this is I wasn't targeted like that, or it wasn't something that was about me or something like that. It really helped me just come to terms with or it gives me hope too, because you see them, they're coming out of it, or they have hope, or they find someone that they're going to be with, or just someone you can relate to and find hope from. So that was another thing I was looking on YouTube for people to relate to. So before I get into the last, but certainly not least thing that I did start healing, I want you to go ahead and comment down below and tell me what are some things that helped you heal from a heartbreak. Let me know. Go ahead and drop that down in the comments below, because I want to know what your process, your healing process and healing journey was. Okay? So the biggest thing that helped me, the biggest thing was talking about it, talking about it, talking about it, talking about it, releasing it out of my body, releasing it out of my mouth. I mean, you still gotta be careful with the words you say, but just talking to people. I talked to my mama, I talked to my sisters, I talked to my sister-in-law, I talked to my friend, my best friend, I talked to another friend I had at that time. I was talking to everybody, sometimes it's just nice to be able to let that stuff out instead of holding on to it, especially when you can't say it to that person, the person that hurt you. You can't talk to them about it or let them know. And so you need to release it somehow. And it's nice to have people that will listen and probably give some feedback now or some advice. But you gotta be careful who you choose to talk to about it, because not everyone is God centered. Not everyone's gonna have the best advice. The best person that you should talk to is God. God is number one. So that's what I would definitely recommend you or anyone do if you're going through a heartbreak like that, because that was the thing that really catapulted healing, was speaking to God. I go in my closet, I probably record myself on a recorder or something too, that also helps. So you can go back and listen to it. I listened to something not too long ago, and I was like, oh, this, I was in a really bad place. I was down bad. Like you can really see your growth process from that, right? But speaking out loud to God, not just like a little prayer like, God, will you do this? God, will you do that? I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about in your mind talking to God. I'm talking about out loud. You crying, snotty nose, boogers, tears, all of it, the whole nine. You're angry, the balled up fist. You giving it all the feelings to him. You letting it out. Everything you probably want to say to that person, you lay it out to God and let God take it and handle it. He can handle it. And you might want to ask, what was this about? What was that about? And just the anger, the sadness, the depression. Like, don't be afraid to let everything that you've been holding in out. Whether you have to go into a closet, your room, whatever, release it because that's what I did, and that really helped. And God really, I started getting answers from God kind of quickly when I was in that raw, vulnerable state. I do believe God answers you more quickly or better, or you're able to hear it more better when you're in that state. Because I notice whenever I'm in that state, I get those answers better. Like I was getting a whole bunch of epiphanies and revelations, and it was amazing. And so that's what I would recommend to anybody. That's the first thing. Release it. Feel all the feelings you feel. Release it out and talk to God. But also talk to others if you need to, so they don't hold on to that. Okay. So okay. Also, writing in my book. This is not a point because this is more so recently. I've been writing in my book, and I've been writing a book. It's a fiction book, kind of from based off of my experiences of being a deafblind woman, and it follows the character Zora and her life. And in this book, Zora has that she's dealing with someone named Miles, a man named Miles, and he's based off of the person I dealt with. And writing the story between her and Miles and some of those situations that they went through, it really brought up old emotions of like hurt and anger. Like when I think of the situations of him doing a certain thing to her or saying a certain thing, and I get angry all over again. I'm like, man, what is this? I got over that. Sometimes those feelings are gonna come back up. Um, and like I said, it's not more so that I'm angry at the person. It just makes me feel like, oh, I'm so stupid. Like, why did I allow him to do that? He was so blatant, or this, that, and the third, or you feel like you ignored things, and however the case may be. Writing a book is, I guess, was a process of its own to really delve deeper into things that, like I said, my experience, things I probably didn't fully heal from or heal that I thought I did, you know? So that's also another layer of healing because the healing is still going on. So it's a slow process. It's been over a year for the most part. Like it's done, but like I said, you gotta delve deeper into that. Those remaining lingering things that you might bring on to the next relationship or other parts of your life that you need to go ahead and heal. So you might not want that person no more, but you still got the damage that was done. And writing this book really brought that up. If you want to know anything more about this book that I'm writing, go ahead and comment down below. Leave a comment, let me know, and maybe do a video in the future on that. Yeah, so that's how I was able to heal, and it's still healing. And so, if you want to support me in my journey, if you enjoy this video or you want to support me in my journey, go ahead and find that link down below and buy me a Boba milk tea, please, and thank you because I love tea. And that just really helps me to be able to continue to write my book, to continue to put out more content, probably better content in the future. Not probably, definitely better content in the future. So go ahead, find that description and we find that link in the description or in the comment below, and I'll have that link for you guys. Okay. I hope you guys had a great time with me talking about my journey. I hope you had a great time with me talking about my journey and how I was able to heal. And I want you to go ahead and leave some comments down below on how you was able to heal and rock with me. Okay. So that's the end of this video. Subscribe for the next video in this series, part 3 of the 5 things I learned that heartbreak has taught me. On that note, I'm Audi 3000. Let's get it, let's go, let's get it, let's go. Oh, bye.